Hello, Igor and Jay Mataji.
Jai Shri Mataji.
Very nice to meet you,
Nice.
and hello, everybody who are watching us. We
My pleasure as well.
yes, we are here today on the 13th of March 2026. I'm Daniel Boston, and I'm here with Igor Zillerman. Um, The reason I'm with Igor here is because I know him from the Brazilian tour. We just come back about two weeks ago, and it was a very interesting meeting with Igor because um, obviously we didn't know each other, and we've been in a different part of the tour. So I was in the south one, he was in the central one. He sing bansuri, flute. He was part of the musicians who perform for the public program in the central one, and I'm very keen. One of the reason I challenged him today is to tell us some stories about the tour. I'm not sure if we will do it today, but finally probably we will go for that one. But something else very interesting happened with Igor. I don't know how he find it that I'm originally from Romania, and he came to me and speak in Romanian few words, and I was shocked because I don't know anybody from Romania. Finally, was another person from Romania there, but not Igor. What's happened with Igor is that he was born in 1964 in Basarabia, which was a province, Romanian province, historical one, which now is Republic of Moldova, in the city called Bălți. This very interesting coincidence, and few words Igor knows in Romania because he lived there for about 35 years, if I'm not wrong.
No, I lived there in for about 16 years.
Oh, sorry. So,
It's my
yeah,
it's my birthplace.
my math, it's obviously very wrong, but
Oh, no problem.
he live enough to speak obviously Russian, and because he's a Russian national, but he knows a bit of Romania. He didn't forget few words, who helped to shock me. So after that, he left for Israel, and I will let him telling the story. And after that, he left for Canada, where he live now. So very interesting story, and I propose to Igor to have that chat to tell me. He gets his realization a bit later in 2007, starting practicing in 2010 in Canada. Um, so before he told me about his realization, getting a realization, like I ask everybody else, is to tell me a few things about his life before the realization. Obviously, a very challenging life with a lot of movement. But what I'm more interested is, like I ask everybody else, what was the trigger for you to come to Sahaj Yoga? Was the trigger to be attracted to spirituality? If you have some experiences in your younger life, before you left to Israel, after you left, what's happened in those years to make you come to Sahaj Yoga in 2007, 2010? So, Igor,
No,
please
thank you
tell
so
us
much.
everything you want to tell from the beginning.
Um, yes, thank you so much, and appreciate your time. And I will move fast forward through the early years because, like many people, I'm not I wasn't aware that I'm seeker. I wasn't aware that I'm seeking something, although at some point of my life, I was, being from a Jewish background, I was interested in like mystics and maybe I don't know if I can call it spirituality, but I was interested in. I remember I was interested in biblical stories, and I was interested to find some mystics or some hidden meanings of all those monumental events that are described in the Old Testament. I remember I was attending synagogues in the past, and during the service, they would Saturday service, they would pull out the Torah scrolls. They will open them up, and they will read some chapter. And this was the most my favorite part in this whole gathering, other than just those mechanical. Yes.
Just a question. What was the language? Was Yiddish?
No, 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 no. Well, it depends where. It was earlier in
In your
Canada.
child,
It was speaking. No, in childhood it was Russian,
in
Russian,
Russia,
but it was no, no. But in synagogue, it was
in
in the
synagogue.
early days, because in living in Soviet Union, and I grew up in Soviet Union.
Yes,
I grew up between 64 and 79. It was the Soviet Union, so there was no religion was not permitted.
yes,
Religion was it was a secular, secular society, as you know,
yes,
and religion was not officially permitted. But I had a chances to go to synagogue like a private gatherings,
yes.
because when my father died, I was very young, and I had to go to do some service for him. I didn't find at that time I wasn't really understanding what's going on. I was like 14, 13, 14 years old. They were speaking Yiddish in the synagogue. I didn't understand anything because I was speaking in my childhood. I was speaking Russian.
Yes.
My parents, my environment, my surrounding. Because Moldova during these years, I don't know if you're aware, it was really in the Soviet Union times, Stalin times, there were big exchange of populations. So they brought a lot of Ukrainian and Russian, and if you live in the city like Belt, the official language is Russian. Moldovan is the
Yes.
second language, and only people from the villages
Yeah.
are using Moldovan or Romanian as the main communication language.
If you don't mind, for the benefit of our viewers, I will dare to make a little bit of history background here. So this part of the world was going either way to Romanian and to Russian several times. Obviously, Romanian claim it as a Romanian territory because it was part of the biggest Moldova. So we have Romanian Moldova with a border of river Prut, and over the Prut, the Romanian call that part Basarabia. From the Basarab, the first guy who ruled it. So obviously this was Romanian or Proto-Romanian. So this part of the country, the whole Moldova, Romanian one and Basarabia one, like I said, the Romanian claim it. 300 years ago, more than 300 years ago, this part of the country go to the Tsarist Russia.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's not about the communists who took it first. Since then, Basarabia, as I call it to make it clear, goes up and down to Romanian side and to Russian side. The most and the most recent development of history was in 20th century when Romania go to the Basarabia go to the kingdom of Romania for a little while, and after that the communists, when the war was quite finished in 1944, took it again.
Yes.
Actually, even earlier than, sorry, not in 1944, in 1940,
1940.
in 1940.
In
Uh,
1940, there was the
90,
partition of Poland, there was the partition of Romania.
yes,
So
yes.
Stalin took a
Ac-
big chunk of lands.
According according to the Ribbentrop-Molotov Treaty,
Yes,
they chop it
they,
as they wanted. Why I know
yes,
so good this stuff is not only I was interested in history, but my father happened to be from south of, I mean, not south of Moldova. Uh, actually, um, was um, south of Chisinau. So
ah, okay,
my father, so I'm half Basarabian because my my grandfather was refugee from
right,
1940 with the whole family, including my father. So as it's
right,
happened, my grandfather died very soon after that, and my father have to take care of my grandmother and be by himself in Romania, more or less as a refugee. Later, he became a communist, my father, and he have a goodish life, but all this trauma from the childhood remain. Actually, he support Russia after that in the big push by the communists in the first years. Nobody will believe that it's the communist will be a failure. Everybody put all the eggs in one basket, believing that the communist will be the new way of life. Was For me was a failure from the beginning. I didn't like it since I was a child,
me too.
but I cannot say I hate it, because hate is a very strong word. But I feel all the time like in a big prison, gray, ugly, dictatorial prison. That was my life in the communist for 35 years.
Right.
Finally, all we know the failure of the communist doctrine and the communist state and so on. But you being having a different background, a Jewish one, and I'm very happy to talk with a Jewish person, because it's one of my soft spot for these people. So I'm a very big supporter of Israel and the Jewish people. Must be something in my family as well. From my mother's side, I don't know. By the way, my family name is Boston. I mean Bostan,
Yes.
which is
Bostan.
it's Iranian origin. So
Oh,
if you go in Iran, you will find a lot of places called Bostan, and one of the biggest poet of Iran, Saadi, write a
right.
book called Bostan, which means the garden,
Wow.
which it's by extension is the paradise, a garden. Yeah. So
Yes,
I'm very happy
absolutely.
to have that name, which obviously have nothing to do with Romania. So
No.
have a very, very different origin.
Okay, yeah,
So
and okay, go ahead,
yeah,
please.
sorry for
Yes.
that
Um,
break. Just to put it in the context, our uh,
yeah, what happened?
background.
I'm a big lover of history myself. I love history and I love history of the ancient world and history of modern and history of you name it. And history is very important subject, I think. If people knew, if people learned history in greater numbers, they would avoid a lot of troubles today, because history repeats itself. History repeats itself. We can talk about this separately, what happening today and what happened during the Second World War. If my opinion, again, maybe many people don't support it, but I think if they did to Hitler and to Nazis 80 years ago in 30s, what they do now in Iran to this regime, the tens of millions of people would be saved. But at that time there was no strong leadership.
Yes.
There was nobody to stop the evil at the beginning of that when the cancer started to grow.
Yes.
And they let it happen, and it turned out a huge disaster. And for my people, just a little background, my mother family was living in the small village close to the border with Romania, close to the Prut. It's a village of close to the district of Rishkan. There is it's a small town close to Belts, but west of Belts, closer to the border. It's very close. Gizdien, the village of Gizdien, and that village was like few kilometers from the border. And her father, my grandfather, and it was a big Jewish family. You know, she had many brothers and sisters. One brother, one sister, but he had a lot of brothers. And he was smart and wise enough to, I don't know how he did it, but he managed to escape to the east very fast with the Russian army who was running away, who was defeated. And that's how they were saved. But his brothers were in the other village. They said, oh, nothing is going to happen to us. It's the civilized people, because there was no media, there was no news, there was not much known. I don't know how he figured it out. He was very smart, very wise person, my grandfather. And that's how he saved himself and he saved his family. And that's why I'm sitting here in front of you, one of the reasons. So anyway, this is a separate story. So we, to make a long story short, I was, as I mentioned, I was always interested in the mysticism, I wouldn't say it's spirituality, because, you know, we were far away from that subject. Like I grew up in not, you know, nobody was really. We were secular people. We were not religious people. We were not very, you know, traditional in a way, like an average Soviet Union people, like secular. And I remember I was saying that, you know, in Russia in Soviet Unions they used to say there is no God, and it's all you know, imagination, it's all stories and, you know, fantasy and everything. And later, no, I grew up, I remember, as I was saying, that I don't know if it's there or not, but I would not deny it.
And they call it religion, the opium of the people, if you remember.
Yes, that's right. Lenin.
The opium of the people. Yes.
Well, religion, that's right. That's what Lenin said, and that's how we grew up. I mean, we grew up as secular people, but there was some seed of, you know, some seed, because I was touched by, you know, in how to say, in Judaism, relation to Bible, to old stories, to ancient things and everything. And of course, in Soviet Union, I didn't know anything about it. My parents tried to stay out of trouble, to not to talk about this subject, and not to exposed me, all these biblical things. But this subject, I mean, I was looking for those mystical stories and all those things behind. So I'll fast forward to my time in Canada, when I was I was attending synagogue service, because when my mom passed away, and that was already close to Sahaj Yoga time. I was very interested in hearing those biblical stories. Abraham, Moses, those stories were so fascinating, and I would like to, and I wanted to always find like some hidden mysticism about it, like all these things and everything. So, but to say that I was like I was seeking. I was asking questions like, why are we here? I don't remember myself, although there might be a case, but it wasn't very strong in my attention. So so this is one part of my kind of what brought me to Sahaj Yoga. In 2004. I had some medical problems with my liver, and I was going to like check up and to specialized doctor and everything, and they recommended me to try yoga. Surprisingly, the doctor told me that you should try yoga. So this was the first time. It happened in 2004. In 2004, I knew before that yoga for me, it was something like when you see those people in India laying on the glass, and the truck goes over them, and they do all kinds of tricks, For me, this was yoga.
Fakir.
Fakir, yeah. This was kind of like some kind of very far away, something very mystical and something very extraordinary. So, not something that I will be doing anytime in this lifetime. And I wasn't looking for yoga, and although the seed was there. So they sent me to yoga, and for me, yoga was, for me it wasn't, yoga was for me one thing. It wasn't for me. I didn't know what is hatha yoga, this raja yoga, hot yoga, cold yoga, this and this, all kinds of yogas, and I didn't know all this. I knew just I need to go to find some yoga. And I went to the first sign that I saw on the street, driving down the street, and I saw that yoga sign, right? And I go there and I want to ask, what is this? And it was like a Korean Dan yoga. So I tried this one for a while. And somehow I got bored with that, and I got, at some point the enthusiasm evaporated. So after a year of doing that, I went to, hatha yoga in the gym, those gym studio, yoga studio with yoga mat and yoga instructors, and that one I tried. Also, and then at some point, my ex-wife at the time, her friend took her to the classes of Sahaj Yoga, and she said that it's very good, very helpful. Like she liked it very much, and I asked her like, what is this about, and what are you doing there? And then she didn't really grasp it. Like the essence of this. So she just said that I liked it, It was very relaxing, very good, but not much beyond that. And I said, okay, well, what are you doing there? Oh, we just meditate, we do this. Okay, I said, you don't do any physical exercise, you don't do any activities. No, it must be like some women yoga or some ladies yoga, some light yoga, something not for me. Because I want to do exercises, I want to do some practice and do this and do that. So I wasn't attracted. Now, some time pass, sometimes go by, and her sister, she has my ex-wife's sister, my sister-in-law. She has a crisis in life, in her relationship, in her life. With she's very depressed, and my wife told her, why don't you go and try this sahaja yoga? And her sister went to the class, and after the first time she came, she understood the value of sahaja yoga right away. She said she was so excited, and she felt vibration, and she felt this, and she felt all her catches and this and that. Anyway, she got very excited, and she told me, her sister, because my ex-wife, she didn't really try to bring me to. Okay, she told me about it. Okay, you do what you want, I don't care. It wasn't. She wasn't like kind of, oh, come. Let me introduce you to this, let me do this. No. She's just stayed cool. But her sister told me, Igor, I tried this yoga, it's so good. You have to try it, you have to come to the class, come to see what it is and everything. And I said, okay, I'll come to the class. And I'm coming to the class. And it wasn't how to say, it wasn't like a open public class. It was a class in the condominium party room in one of the residential buildings. It was class only for Russian speaking people. And it was in this class, it wasn't like it wasn't advertised for everyone to come. It wasn't like, because in Toronto we have a big collective. We have a lot of sahaja yogis. We have classes in different areas. But this was different. This class was different because it was like a friend brings friend,
Like a private, yeah.
More like a private, this guy brings his friends, he heard, he likes it, he brings his friend. So basically it's like people bringing their friends, and everybody speak Russian. So, and my sister-in-law, she brings me, right? And because this is like a private class, it's like not like a public, like people from the street coming to the class. They allow themselves to be more, to go a little further with sahaja yoga, because they trust that if I was brought by her, maybe I will be more forgiving I will be more easier to
Understand.
to understand things that you don't really show to people your first time in the first class.
Sure.
So what they did to me, it was unforgettable. It was so of course they were not explaining me anything. She was not explaining me much. She was just treating me like one of them, and didn't tell me much. And they were talking general stuff. I didn't really pay attention. I wasn't really like it was all looked strange to me. And then they said, the teacher, the instructor said, okay, now we're going to clean our Vishuddhi chakra. We're going to say 16 times Allahu Akbar. And now you have to understand this, where I'm coming from. I'm coming from it is the year 2007 or something, right?
Yeah.
Now I know that in Israel, before they kill you, they shout Allahu Akbar and they attack people.
Yeah.
The terrorists, right? And before this was after they were blowing buses and they were doing terrorist acts and they were attacking people. And always Allahu Akbar is that just the fanatics, the killers, the murderers were shouting. It represents like, I'm gonna kill you now. So this is my conditioning at this time. You have to understand that I'm not a regular people here that, okay, Allahu Akbar, it's something, okay, this is religious things, maybe, No, for me it was terrible. It was absolutely horrible thing to hear. And then they start shouting Allahu Akbar 16 times. And my sister-in-law looks at me like, she turns at me and she sees that I'm becoming like, I don't know what's going on. I'm becoming like pale. I become red. I don't know. My face changes. She sees that I'm shocked. I'm traumatized. And she said, Igor, please, I will explain to you after. I will do to you.
No.
Yes, and I was so shocked. I was shocked to that extent that after the moment of shock, I started, the rest of the class, I was laughing. And I couldn't stop my laughter. Like when you have that attacks of laughter, yeah. Sometimes, and you choking, you trying to, you're sitting among people, and it's not polite to start laughing when, especially in Sahaj Yoga classes, when people sitting quietly and all of a sudden one idiot start laughing and cannot stop laughing. So I was like choking. I was trying to choke myself and to stop it, and I couldn't, I was like struggling within myself.
It's a more or less a hysterical.
Yeah, it was hysterical. I was
control. Yes, yeah.
It was hysterical. So, but I don't remember any. Of course, nothing. She was talking Kundalini, but I don't remember nothing. No vibrations. Of course, nothing, because my mind was not ready to stop and to get into this situation. So obviously the teacher took a very wrong decision with me to do that, but you would never do it to new people. But I didn't get up and left the class because, for some reason, some people do, sometimes I've seen the cases when people come to the class and they see the photo of Shri Mataji, they see the candle and they get up and go. Or they don't like something, they watch the talk of Shri Mataji, yes, and then they get up and they leave. I wasn't like that, luckily. But I want to tell you one thing from that first class. I saw the picture of Shri Mataji. I was looking at the picture of Shri Mataji, and I was thinking to myself, like, who is she? I was looking at Shri Mataji. It was like that famous photo where she, like where you, a very, very common, very famous photo of her where she's wearing this. It's called Damnevati, something that you use it for treatment purposes. Yes. So I look at her, and she doesn't look Indian to me. She looks like a queen. I'm thinking to myself, this lady, she must be a queen of something. Maybe because I knew how Queen of England looks like. So it's not a Queen of England. Maybe she's a Queen of Netherlands. Maybe she's a Queen of Norway, because she didn't look Indian much to me. She's bright skin on that photo, right? I don't know her. I don't know who is she and what is she. But I saw such a dignified appearance of her in the photo that I was absolutely sure that she's not an ordinary person. She has to do some royalty. She must be some royalty. Without anyone telling me, that's what I felt, and I was absolutely certain about it. Anyway, this was my first class, and of course, then after that we were coming to the classes, but it really didn't click to me, like they tried to do like a fast forward progress with me to get me to the collective and to get me into the to sahaj yoga, like advanced classes and all that, to pujas, to this and this, but I didn't really get it. I didn't feel any vibrations. I didn't understand quite much. I was asking questions all the time. How and why are you doing this, and why are you doing this, and why, to the point that they said to me, okay, Igor, maybe it's not for you, Sahaja yoga is not for everyone. Asking too many questions. So, and of course I didn't do any foot soaking. I don't know if I meditated home or not. It was like completely, not a very, the right track, let's put it this way. So of course I didn't even, without even feeling it, I quit and I stopped coming. I stopped coming to the classes because, it all nice, people are nice, this nice, but nothing really happens, and such and such things, doesn't make sense to me. And I didn't get an answers to my questions. So then a couple years pass by, and I have my mom is in very serious disease in 2010, and I spent with her the whole year. I spent with her in the hospital, sitting with her and taking my work with me to her, and because I was kind of self-employed, so I take my laptop and I worked there with her. So it was very depressing time. It was very depressing time for me. And when my sister-in-law came to visit again in the hospital one day, I told her, I'm trying the treatments against depression. I'm trying this, what do you call that? There is like a, they try to possess you, like to get you to the left side.
Exorcist? No, not.
No. The other thing, like medical, like psychiatrists do that. Hypnosis. Yeah,
Yes.
tried hypnosis, but hypnosis didn't work. So I told her, I'm trying this. I'm trying hypnosis. She told me, Igor, don't do that because they take you to the subconscious, and they're gonna cause you trouble, and they do this and that. And we come back to Sahaja Yoga. I mean, I ask her, what is your Sahaja Yoga does? Like, how does it help? And she said that it's your own energy, nobody possessing you, nobody does, and you're using your own energy, and it's completely safe and it's completely good. So I decided at that time that I'm going to go back to Sahaja Yoga. After this conversation with her, I decided that I'm gonna start coming to the classes. And that time I came to the normal class, like a person from the street, like a normal English-speaking class, which is open to everyone, to general public. It was like a class in the North York Public Library, as I remember this today. City like suburban of Toronto, not far from me. And that time I start, at that time I start Sahaja Yoga, and I start feeling that it helps me. I start feeling that the stress and pain and all that, negativity, all that heavy load on me starts to go away, and I start feeling good. I still don't feel vibrations, but I feel that this place is good for me, and eventually I start feeling that this is the place for me, and I never quit since then. So this is my story how I came to Sahaja Yoga.
Wow. Listen to you obviously raise few, not necessarily questions, but observations. I feel the need to come back uh, to the beginning of your life in this troubled region of the world, because we are talking about Ukraine, we are talking about Israel, we are talking about Iran nowadays as hot spots of history. But people who do not live in that Eastern Europe easily forget or do not know about what's happened there. So I feel the need to emphasize the fact that Igor is not Russian. Igor is a Jewish. So I feel the need to emphasize that to make the record straight. The fact that he's speaking Russian is, uh, let's call it an accident of the history, thanks to the communists, starting with Lenin, ended with Stalin and everybody else. Like I start telling you before, that part of the world, like many others, part of the Soviet Union, was depopulated by the uh, natives, in our case Romanian, in our in other case Turkmens and other other people. Baltic states also was affected, and there was a mass um, shifting of the population, and Russian bring in that in those areas. That's happened in Basarabia, today Republic of Moldova. But Igor and his family wasn't part of that movement. They were there already in Basarabia long time before, because Igor is an Ashkenazi who came. Maybe we will have one day time, because both of us are passionate of history. Came long time before, following a long uh, persecution of the Jewish in the Europe, starting with 14th, 13th century. In Spain, Britain, whatever. The only country where they were welcome was with full arms was Netherlands. And they move all over the place, Germany, and finally get north of Romania, Moldova, Ukraine, Russia.
It was a settlement belt. They
Yes.
call it like where all the Jewish in Russian Empire, Moldova, West Ukraine,
Yeah.
Belarus. It was where Jewish people were supposed to live.
Yeah.
Like they were secluded to this area because they were not allowed to the capitals of Moscow and this for many years, for a long
Yes.
time.
Yes.
So this called like a belt.
And many, oh, even that many pogroms, which means killing of the Jewish, happens in those area time to time. Every time when someone feel like the Jewish are the bad people of the region, start to killing them, which doesn't happen in Romania until until 90, 41, 42, when we get back the Bessarabia, thanks to our closer politics with Stalin. So I want to make this very clear once. So second observation, it's about Allahu Akbar, which was a very interesting story, which bring me two observation. First one, uh, what's happened with Allahu Akbar, it's exactly what happened with the swastika maculated by Hitler. So you cannot use swastika today in any other place except India or this area, because when everybody else sees a swastika associated with the Nazi. So that's exactly what's happened today with Allahu Akbar, which is a huge and very powerful mantra used by these idiots in the last moment of their life and justifying their actions. So it's a very, very bad thing.
I have an interesting story about swastika.
Yes, please.
I can tell you when you're ready.
Okay, no, the last observation will be the leadership of the classes, which uh, in your case, in the first class, which was more domestic, intimate one, was a good thing. But again, the quality of the leadership have, you don't have classes for the leaders. The leaders usually, or the leaders, the people who are holding a
No, I'm not
meditation.
complaining about
No, no, it's
leader.
not
I'm
about
not
complaining. It's about,
criticizing.
yeah, it's about observation, a general observation. Usually the leaders are self-appointed. Is the guy who is more active, which is the more vocal, which have a little bit more knowledge, and yeah. Um, this kind of guy not always have the capacity of is, I'm not talking especially in your case, I'm talking in general. uh, Not all the time have the diplomacy to talk with everybody. So sometimes they treat people um, like they thought they are, but they are not. So you have to know your people to know how to talk with them. So there are plus and minuses in having a familiar gathering. Although there are minuses on big classes from people from the street, because there you cannot be so familiar with everybody. So what you lose in one case, you will get in another, and vice versa. So
Yeah.
please tell me the story with the swastika.
Okay, so swastika was, of course, in Soviet Union, like everywhere, like in Germany today, like everywhere, swastika was absolutely,
An evil sign.
satanic thing,
Yeah.
evil sign. It was like it was forbidden to, to play, to draw and to display and to this, and it was like a worse enemy. The Nazi Germany, of course, there was a worst enemy of this, and there was a lot of movie, a lot of brainwash. Truly, righteously so. So it was perfect. It was strictly associated with Nazi regime. Then I can tell you a couple incidents of swastika. So when I was a child, I was very, very small. I don't remember how small I was, but at some point of childhood, I loved to draw swastikas. And as a Jewish person, it's a double sin. It's not just because it was like a more so
Yeah.
satanic thing than even for ordinary Russian.
Yeah.
So, but as a child, I was very innocently fascinating with swastikas. I was drawing those swastikas and ornamenting them. I like to paint, to draw a little bit. I used to draw things. It was my passion as a child, and I was drawing swastikas, like just, not intentionally, just like I like the shape. I like to do this. Looks good to me, and this thing. So, at that time when I was drawing swastikas for myself, of course nobody sees it, and I know. I mean, I hear around that this is like no, it's like forbidden thing. So, but I was so fascinating with swastikas. So one day I was traveling with my grandma on the bus in Bessarabia. I was traveling from Belz to Chisinau or something, or from one city to another. And the bus, and we were on the, on that route, on the bus, with all the passenger and this stuff. So on the way to halfway, the bus stops for breaks. People get out, they go to bathroom, they go to get some food. Just an intermittent stop of the bus, like you did in Brazil tour, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So as a child, I get out of bus, and the bottom of the bus, it has like a layer of dirt,
Yep.
like the face of the side of the bus,
Yep.
close to the road, it's dirty.
Yep.
It has like this like layer of dirt. So I go with my finger and I draw a swastika on that bus. You know what happened? The driver and people, the guy came out and says, "Who draw the swastika? Who is this child? Where is his parents?" And my grandma was, my miserable grandma was, she was so embarrassed and she's so stressed. And she said to him, no, this is my child. He doesn't know what he's doing. We are Jewish, she said. We are Jewish. We are not, we are not Nazis. So somehow she put this down, but it was like such an embarrassing moment with me. So since at that point, after that, I stopped drawing swastikas. After that, I stopped it. I didn't do it anymore.
My friend,
Another
you are
thing,
very, very lucky. You are very, very lucky.
I was very
You
lucky,
are-
but I was very small. I was very small child.
yes,
So maybe
but
the guy just said, this stupid child. What do you want
yes,
from him?
but if this kind of stuff happened just few years before, maybe 10, 15 years before, you probably have the whole chances to be in Siberia.
Yeah, I would. My
the-
my grandma would be,
with the
like,
whole family.
yeah. But the fact that we are Jewish at this time, it saves us,
Yes,
because they
but
know, everybody knows that the Nazis, they were killing. But it's obviously the proof that this child is either doesn't know what he's doing or something wrong, but he has no intention. I mean, people are still some people are still sensible. Yes, it is ugly. It is bad things, but at the end of the day, you see this child. Okay, I know what you're saying. It depends who. It depends who is there. It depends what the person around, what is doing.
yeah,
Now, the second case with swastika was that I was in Odessa. It was like 70, I think it was in 79 or 78. I was like 15 years old, and we were on the tour in Odessa.
of course.
It's a port city, right?
Yeah, no.
And we go to the port with a tour guide. We took a tour with us, and then we saw a ship standing in the port, like a big ship, cargo ship. And the nose of the ship on the nose of the ship there is a circle with the swastika,
Mm-hmm.
and everybody said, "What the hell is this? What is this? Like, what is kind of ship?" They said this is Indian ship,
Ah,
and this is the sign of. They didn't explain it properly. They said the sign. This for Indians, they said this is the sign of some
good luck.
good luck. You know, that's what the Indian thinks. You know, why the swastika is a good luck. So they explained to us that this is the good luck for them, and it means something different. Okay, that was my another interaction with swastika. So kind of very interesting experiences.
Yeah. Wow. Igor, thank you
Anyway,
very
the
much for
time.
sharing us all this beautiful story. What is in my mind? Um, you open a very interesting chapter about the Bible, which I'm also fascinated with. Next time, if you want to touch that subject, I will be really really happy. I tell you what. Why? Because in our Sahaj culture, the Bible, the New Testament and the Old Testament, both of them, are very easily ignored, because we putting more accent on the Hindu background, which it's very good. It's very good, but we shouldn't ignore the other holy books and the other teachings and knowledge. And Shimataji make it very clear that we have to access all the scriptures, not only the Hindu one. So that's one subject I want to talk with you. Another one, it's obviously the music and the flute, how you start to play that was a hobby of you, and things like that. And finally, maybe we we will talk sometime about the Brazilian tour, but I will leave it to the end. I mean, I want
Okay,
to take it chronologically. So
sounds good.
we we will arrange a time for us to meet again.
Sounds
We don't
good.
know.
Thank
We don't
you.
know now, but
Yeah, now it's a time fly fast. So now
yes,
I looks like I need to
oh,
a bit
obviously,
over time. So
yeah. Okay. Thank you anyway
thank
for
you and pleasure
again.
talking to you.
Yes, and thank you for the people who are watching us. If you are, if you like or not, please let us know. And yeah, thank you for watching
Thank you
again.
and speedy recovery for you.
Jai Shri
Feel
Mataji. Thank you.
better.
Thank you very
Jai
much.
Shri Mataji.
Jai Shri Mataji.
Thank you. Okay, we'll be in touch.